Okay, we are now joined by the pole sitter for tomorrow's South Point 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and driver of the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota Camry XSE, Christopher Bell. Christopher, this is your third pole of the year and also your third at Las Vegas. Looking ahead to tomorrow, what's it going to take to secure that elusive first victory coming from the first starting spot?
A lot of execution. Las Vegas it is, and really all of these Cup races, they're just really long races, and there's a lot of things that go on in between the green flag and the checkered flag that dictates the outcome of the race. So, I've sat in this position many of times now, and I've been yet to win the race on Sunday, starting from that first position. So, we've come really close several times, and this is a great racetrack for me. So, I'm optimistic about it. I felt really good in practice, and sometimes that means more than what you see in qualifying as well. So I think we've got the car to do it, and hopefully, I'm up for the job, and our team executes well, and we're able to put it all together.
All right, we'll begin opening it up to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll do our best to get a mic to you. We'll start with Zach over here.
NASCAR.com. Congratulations on this. Obviously, I think back to this race a year ago, the battle with Larson there at the end. There's nothing to say that it's going to come down to the two of you again, but it might. And what lessons have you learned recently over the years? Do you think might come into play that you've kind of added to the notebook over time?
Don't lose the battle off pit road. But yeah, in all reality, I think that race, came down to that pit stop, and Adam and I actually talked about what we were going to do if we were in this position to win the pole and what pit stall we were going to choose. Last year I had that number one pit stall and I couldn't quite accelerate out of it, and I lost a couple positions in the drag race to the camera that last pit stop. So, I think if a couple things go differently at the end of that race, I probably the outcome might have been a little bit different. The six was able to squeak by me, and it took me several laps before I could get by him and lost precious ground to Kyle. So there's no doubt. He's the favorite here. Kyle is. He's won, I think, about every stage and every race since the history of next gen car here. So he's going to be fast tomorrow, but I promise you we're going to be right there with him.
Selecting that
I am going to leave that up to Adam.
This one's a little bit off the beaten path, but going back to your time in the Xfinity Series, this is Wayne Austin's last season as well. I was just curious if you have any memories with him as well through your time there.
Yeah, I definitely do. Wayne is an amazing race director. I guess is that his title, race director? He's one of the only ones that have actually given a young driver, myself at the time, advice. And I remember him telling us that you have to practice getting out the right side of the car, and that stuff is so valuable and something that I took with me the rest of my career, even whenever I got into the Cup Series, and then with the car change, figuring out how to get out the right side of the next gen car. So he's an awesome person who really looks after the racers and makes sure that they're they're doing well.
We'll go to Lee and then Dalton.
Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, catchments.com. Forgive me, this was asked earlier, but with the dominant performance you had at Charlotte, in finding your groove on intermediate tracks, I'm kind of curious, what track would you compare this to that's in the 1.5-mile realm?
Yeah, I would say that it really is a cross between Kansas and Charlotte. Kansas, the track is probably a little bit slicker than Vegas, where Charlotte probably matches up a little bit closer on grip level. But the bumps here in 1 and 2 are unlike Kansas. Kansas doesn't have any bumps, and Charlotte does have some bumps. Kansas here and Charlotte are all very similar racetracks and places that we've performed really well at. So, I'm certainly excited about this, and I've been excited about this whole round. Here, Homestead and Martinsville are all three tracks where we're going to run really well at. And on the flip side, all the competition is going to run well at too. So, it's going to be a really, really tough round, and the guy who wins this race is going to be walking out of here feeling pretty good.
Go to Dalton right here.
Hey, Christopher, I'm paraphrasing here, but earlier Kyle Larson was in here, and he said that he feels like you guys have kind of snuck your way into the round of 8, and you've been very quiet.
We've snuck our way into the round of 8?
by that I mean like you guys have just not been had a spotlight on you over these last
Gotcha.
few
Okay.
years. And do you want the spotlight on you? Do you wish you had more attention on you, or do you kind of like the fact that you guys are quietly performing very well?
You know, I've been asked this about 18 times today. So, you know, I don't care. Like, I just don't care. You know, I'm going to do my deal, whether I am headlines or I'm not headlines, and I'm going to be frustrated whenever I lose, and I'm going to be happy whenever I win, no matter what the headlines say. So, I don't care. If you guys talk about me or not, I'm going to try my hardest to win the race. And that's that.
Any additional questions for Christopher? All right. Well, congrats on the pole and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.